This is the Firearm Control Unit, FCU. This thing is pretty cool. Now, you may have seen the Roni or some of the other types of devices where you stick a whole handgun inside of a case. That's not what this is. What this is something that works with the trigger group from a SIG P320. Now, this looks like a SIG P320 slide, which it is. It has a silencer co barrel on it, a threaded barrel, so you could add a suppressor to this. And this is still a pistol. And what makes it still a pistol is that what is actually serial numbered here, and you can see the serial number window over here on this side, the serial numbered part here actually is the trigger control group from a SIG P320. Now, this one has not had the safety upgrade, the recall, voluntary turn-in, whatever program you want to call that. This one has not had that, but one that has had that aftermarket or recall work will fit into this aftermarket piece. And this aftermarket piece isn't a firearm in and of itself. So what you still have, as far as the ATF's concerned, as far as the government's concerned, is a pistol. What that means is, once I get it back together here, the pistol obviously cannot have a stock, but it can have a stabilizing brace. And this is exactly what this is. You see, I can open this up, put it around my arm, shoot it one-handed with stability. I can push it out against my arm. I can pull it back against my arm. I can even put it up against my body, is the official determination of the ATF in terms of how I use this gun. Now, you can see it has a Trijicon sight up here. You can put any red dot you want on it. It's got iron sights, pistol-type iron sights. If I were holding it out here as a pistol, two-handed here, or one-handed, I could use the pistol sights or the red dot. And if the gun is back against my body, these sights will flip up, and I can use these iron sights. Of course, I can put them back down and use this, in this case, green triangle. And that red dot sight, or the electronic sight, obviously is going to be the most easiest way to aim this thing. It's got an ambidextrous charging handle situation. The charging handle can also be locked open, so you can see that the gun is clear. You could use the slide stop, the ambidextrous slide stop from the original 320 type controls too if you wanted to. It's got a hand stop built in here, and there's a thumb rest here for the right-handed shooter, a rail attachment. You could obviously reverse that, put two rail attachments. This brace obviously does collapse all the way down in, so you end up with a very, very compact package, which you could again use this way. You could use pushed off a sling like the old MP5K, or we can open it up one stop or two stops, put it up against our body, and put this extended 320 magazine in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put a round in the chamber. I've got ears on, put eyes on, and I have shot this already a few times today, and I gotta say, it is really cool. It is really cool the way this thing allows you to just kind of put the rounds wherever you want. Target's kind of blowing around in the wind here, but I'll go for the body here first. And you can see that you can get rounds into the body. If I go up to that circle with the one, now the holdover on this is kind of like an AR, right? Here's where your optic line is, here's where your bore line is. So if you zero this at 75 or 100 yards for this configuration, you just hold over 3 inches, maybe 4, and you end up dropping that round right in, let's say that circle with the 3. And let's get the follow-up shot into the head. 3 shots all touching. This gun is cool. And this gun, again, at its heart, is a 320. Now, obviously, we know about the issue with the drop safe issue. I don't want to drop this gun. I don't want to drop any gun. We know that there was definitely an issue with this 320, but we could get that upgrade done. This piece here actually has to be specifically fit from the manufacturer. What they're telling me is that this has to be specifically fit for a compact or for the full-size version as far as the slide goes. You know, I think one of the coolest things here isn't just this. This is neat, and I really do like it. I was intrigued by it. Now I'm impressed by it. But what I'm most interested in is this conceptually. You know, if the ATF has said, okay, SIG, you want to build a gun like this, that little trigger group, that's the gun. That's the serial numbered part. So when you start thinking about what you could 3D print, what you could machine, what you could injection mold for that trigger group to be dropped into, not just SIG, but anybody, go buy a 320, stick it into this thing here that isn't a gun, and now you've got a different configuration with a trusted, reliable trigger group that we know is coming from a quality manufacturer. Maybe you use the same slide, maybe you don't. As a firearms manufacturer myself now with the Avidity Arms PD10, my gears start turning like, what could people do with this? And if other gun companies start making guns that are actually just the chassis and the control group is what you worry about as far as your paperwork, what else can happen in the firearms industry. I think the guys that put this together are pretty innovative. It's pretty well made, and this is a very early one. My understanding is these guys will be at SHOT Show 2018, and these will be available commercially with a couple of different configurations, couple of different stabilizing braces available, things like that. You can screw a suppressor on it. Like I said, that is a silencer code barrel. The FCU, pretty cool.